It's 2025 and AI is eating up the world, and I think there's a massive shift happening to development agencies. I've been running a software development agency for the past 3 years, and I've been documenting every day for the past year. And I just got off a call actually with another development agency owner who's, he's also around a kind of similar stage as me. He was describing how he's confused because he feels like development agencies will go out of business or suffer a lot because of all this AI that's coming in. And AI is certainly changing the landscape to a lot of businesses. And in specific to development agencies, a lot of agencies that make their money off of basically just managing a bunch of engineers, soon it's going to require less engineers to produce the same thing. And so they're going to have to lay off people and things like that. And that's not very fun. For staffing agencies, it might be a little bit different. But even then, I think a lot of them might find that they are going to have less demand for a while because the fewer number of engineers could be used to produce the same output. And even things like the MVP market, like nowadays you can build a lot of simpler MVPs, like not everything, but a lot of things you can put together with no code tools or no code SaaS. And also you can produce more complicated applications with fewer engineers than ever before. And so, all this combines to make for a somewhat scary landscape as, somebody who maybe provides engineering services and things like that. I think the thing that I have come to focus on is really what as an agency, what you want to do is focus on the problem that you're solving for people, rather than, how you do it. So for example, what I mean by that is don't stay focused on the means, stay focused on the end goal and the end result that you create. And this is something that I really, really struggled with. But I think fundamentally finding a niche as a software consultancy is not about, for example, I just do projects in fintech or something like that. But finding a niche is especially about defining who you serve, what you do for them, and what result you create for them. And finding these three things is something that takes time and is done iteratively. When you define these three things, the result that you create for them is not dependent on the tools that you use. And what I mean by that is, for example, if right now you help a head of sales speed up their prospecting by 25%, whether there's more AI or less AI or what tools are out there doesn't change the end goal. And all it changes is maybe the way that you go about doing the thing, but fundamentally you are still selling that result to people. The value of that result does not change depending on which tools you might use. If anything, it can be cheaper to fulfill on things, and you can still create that same end result for your clients. And that's fundamentally, for example, in a staffing situation, the end result that you create for them is that they're able to find quality engineers really quickly. You can speed up that process, you can improve and lower the cost of fulfillment by using AI matching and AI vetting and things like that. And so it's more important than ever as a business in general, but especially as a development agency, to understand the result that you are creating for people. And if you focus on the result that you create for people and the problem that you solve for people and for who that person is, you will be less attached to the means or the tool that you use to solve that problem, whether that tool is 50 engineers or a couple different tech products or a couple different APIs, whatever it is. But fundamentally you have to be attached to the result that you create, the problem that you solve, and the avatar that you serve, more so than the business model about how you do it. It's like, for example, if you're a newspaper and you were just printing papers and you didn't go online because you were so focused about how you did the thing, and that was what you sold paper newspapers, then you probably would go out of business if you just keep doing that forever, eventually, right? But if you're just focused on delivering quality information to your readers, then you would go online, and it doesn't matter whether it's on paper, whether it's an email, whether it's in social media, whether it's in an article on a website, it doesn't matter. That is regardless of what format it takes up, the end result is you provide information to your readers, and that's the kind of solution that you were creating for them. That is a result that you were driving for them. And if you focus on that thing, I think it's a lot less scary to navigate this whole shift. But I will say that if you're unclear on the result that you're creating for people, you have to figure that out first, and that's really, really important. And it's easier said than done, but it takes time. And if people are curious, I can make a video on how I'm trying to go about that. But even I've been doing this for 3 years. For a long time, I was too caught up in fulfillment to really drive a focus on what result we are creating for our clients. And I realized that the results that we've been creating has generally been in MVPs and things like that, which is not where we want to stay. And so now we're pivoting our niche and niching down into new things. And so we're redefining who we focus on, what we do for them, and what results we create. And I can do a video detailing on how I'm going about doing that. If people are curious, do comment below. I really appreciate if you've watched this far. I hope it was useful. And comment if you have any questions. I reply to as many of those as possible.